it'll be the first time I think in 6 years that there will be no Messi or Ronaldo in the final. It's a bit odd. Do you feel? And between the two, if you had to choose one, I mean, I know you played with Messi, but is there one you favour, or is it two different players?
It's not about being. For me, not a lot of people can say that, but I played with Leo, so I'm always going to go with the guy that I played with.
Sure. And, one of the rising stars that are coming through the ranks, Kylian Mbappe, you think he is, obviously a fellow Frenchman, do you think he is a guy that can maybe take over that mantle once Messi and Ronaldo step out of the shadow?
Yeah, you would like to think that he's the guy that's going to come after. There is a guy that maybe is not in and around that we're going to find out in 1 year or in 2 years. You have the guy that's coming through at Benfica, Joao Felix, that I know for a very long time, and now is coming on the scene. You never know who's going to take, that crown. Hopefully it's going to be a battle again, because it looks like when there is a battle, people. And by the way, we are talking about the next generation, but they're still here, Messi and Ronaldo, and they're still performing well. But it looks like that Kylian will be the guy that's going to come after them with some others.
Thierry, and then if we can just maybe go back to the Champions League. You've played, a lot of South Africans have performed in the Champions League in years gone by. Lucas Radebe at Leeds United. You spoke a bit about Benny McCarthy a bit earlier. Just as players, what do you think their influence was on the English game? And obviously, in South Africa, they're seen as huge idols, and maybe something on Steven Pienaar as well.
Listen, I think, as you know, the Premier League is a competition that's well followed, especially in South Africa. But let's be honest, I think it became also well followed when the likes of Radebe went there, Mark Fish, and some of the South African players going in that league obviously made it even more so enjoyable to watch for those guys. Now obviously it's a given because everybody is watching it, and Steven going there, Benny obviously winning the Champions League with Porto. People forget about that, and it was vital for that team to win it. And so I just think that people always try to, especially when you're from a country, people sometimes forget to, how can I put that into word? They like to see and dream with other stars when they have them in their country. Do you understand what I mean? And that's, I think, what Benny McCarthy was, Lucas Radebe was, Mark Fish was, and Steven Pienaar, to mention of the guys that played obviously in Quinton Fortune, not forgetting him, that played in this league. And I think that was vital for the South African obviously to love the Premier League.
And a huge unmissable moment 13 years ago when you scored that goal against Real Madrid at Santiago Bernabeu. What do you remember of that game? As an Arsenal fan, obviously, I think we were knocked out of a few cups, and then that game came up. What do you remember of that game and that memorable goal?
It just, obviously it worked. Sometimes it didn't work, but every time I step on the field, I was like, I need to do something for my team. That's what I remembered. And in that game, something needed to happen like that, because obviously they had a better squad than us on paper, better players, match winners all over the field. But we dig deep and we managed to go through with that goal. And it could have been someone else scoring, but you just have to go out there and trying to make sure that you can help. And on the night it was me with the help obviously of my team, because you don't score goals alone, and it worked.
Thierry, thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.